So the first card you have for your past is the Hanged Man. Yes, obviously this is about holding back, and I'm seeing that you're holding back on something. Yeah, you're kind of, it's like you were sacrificing something to get something else that you wanted, or you were kind of stopping yourself from doing something or saying something so that you weren't going to get a negative result. It was like you knew that if you went ahead and did something or said something, the result would be negative, so you're holding back. That's what I'm seeing. This could be in the workplace. I'm seeing a workplace situation, because I'm actually seeing you knowing that something wasn't being done properly. This is around the workplace. This could have been around someone in authority. It could be a system or a rule that was set out that wasn't correct, and I'm seeing that it was around a person, though. Someone had made this rule, or someone had said something that, excuse me, sorry about that, that wasn't correct. It was causing problems. It wasn't right. That's what I'm seeing. And you might say something in the future, I'm seeing, but I'm seeing that at this time it just wasn't the right time. You knew that, and you're actually being very wise about this. You knew that the person wasn't going to change their mind anyway, or they were going to be upset, or something was going to be worse if you actually came out and said something. And I think that you knew that you'd probably end up losing out in some way. I'm not seeing you being manipulative. It's not like you're kind of not saying anything, keeping your mouth shut to kind of gain something. It's not like that. I'm seeing this is about timing. This is about, this isn't the right time, or this wasn't the right time for you to say anything. And so you're just being very wise about this, very self-preserving. Whoever this wasn't an easy person. They're a difficult person. And I think that you knew that if you said something, it would cause a whole lot of problems. So this is about, this is about self-preservation. This is about strategy, not manipulative strategy, but it was just like this wasn't the wise time or the right time for you to be saying anything, so you're just kind of sitting back at this time. The next card you have for your past is the Three of Pentacles. So yes, more workplace things. This always makes me think of the workplace. Not always, but a lot of the time it does, because I always see these Three Pentacles turning around as if they're like cogs in a machine. So this always makes me think of the workplace, not all the time, but quite a lot. So yes, there could have been a lot of stress I'm seeing going on at the workplace, or something work related anyway. It's around work. This is like a subtle kind of a stress. It's not like somebody's in your face screaming at you, that kind of stress. It's more subtle. It's like an atmosphere. It's like an atmosphere in the air in your workplace. And people weren't feeling as if they had the freedom to say what they needed to say or wanted to say, that kind of thing. I'm seeing a definite hierarchy. Excuse me, my throat. Excuse me, sorry about that. There's a definite kind of a hierarchy in the workplace, an unfair hierarchy. That's what I'm seeing. It's like, this wasn't a performance-based hierarchy where people who performed really well and did really well and had the skills and had the education and everything like that could rise up above others. This was more like, maybe this was a family business and maybe members of the family were being promoted, or maybe it was friends of someone who were being promoted. If it was more like who you knew, it might have even been something quite bad. It could have even been some kind of sexism or racism or something like that, whereas some people were being promoted or whatever, or raised up or praised over other people in a very, very unfair way, making a lot of people around the situation very unhappy, feeling an atmosphere, feeling really unhappy. It's something very, very unfair. I keep on seeing this, and I think you really, really had this on the tip of your tongue. You wanted to say something because it was very unfair, but I think you knew that it would backfire in quite a serious way, and I think other people were kind of feeling the same way as well. So eventually, you do have a strong sense of justice, so eventually you probably will say something, but there was some reason why this was not the right time to say this. There's some reason why that was. You knew what that reason was, and I think a lot of other people knew that as well. I'm also seeing, it's very stressful as well, because a lot of people were having to carry other people who weren't capable. So it was like these people being promoted, they weren't actually qualified or good enough, or didn't have the skills, they weren't very good. And other people who were actually more skilled or better at the job than them were beneath them, and they had to kind of carry them, or they had to kind of make up for their mistakes. It's that kind of horrible thing. So the last card you have for your past is the World. So yes, I'm seeing that you could have been studying at this time, or you could have been learning something, or you could have been building something up outside of this work situation. So yes, whatever that was had some learning involved with that. You had to learn how to set things up, or new skills, or some kind of thing like that. So it might have been formal learning, or it might not have been. It was some kind of learning outside of this work situation. And maybe this is one of the reasons why you weren't saying anything to this person in the Hanged Man about this terrible situation. You had a focus outside of this workplace. You're waiting to see what the outcome of that was going to be, I'm seeing, before you actually said anything. And I'm seeing something quite big, something quite important is going to come out of this studying, or whatever this is, whatever you're focusing on. The World card is about endings and new beginnings, really big new beginnings. So there's going to be some waiting, I'm seeing, but this is going to happen for you. And then I think you're going to feel a lot bolder and a lot freer and a lot more able to stand up and say things. That's what I'm seeing is going on. So the first card you have for your present is the High Priestess. So I'm seeing someone could be hiding something from you, actually. That's what I'm seeing in this card. I'm not seeing secrets. I'm not seeing anyone being sneaky or hiding anything bad from you or anything like that. I'm seeing someone who doesn't want you to know how they're actually feeling, how they truly feel about you. That's what I'm seeing. There's a lot of holding back and waiting in this whole reading so far. So this is kind of turning into the reading of waiting and not being the right time and all of these kinds of things. Yes, this is someone who you used to be connected with, I'm seeing. They were very, very upset at one time. Now, you might have had a breakup. They might have been very upset. There was something that really upset them. That's what I'm seeing. It might have been outside of this situation, but they were very upset, I'm seeing, at one time. And then they were very upset that they weren't around you, that they weren't with you. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing things have settled down quite a bit for them emotionally at this time, but they're still thinking about you. I'm actually seeing them, or their emotions, coming and going in waves, so that makes sense. I'm looking at this crescent moon at the feet of this beautiful High Priestess. Now, there's a crescent moon, and her dress looks a little bit like water as well, kind of flowing water flowing around this moon. And, if you look at the tides, they're affected by the moon. The tides come in and out depending on where the moon is. So I'm actually seeing this person going through waves of emotion and waves of thought about you when their emotions are high, when the tide is high, but then the emotions go down again, and then they're kind of not quite wanting to contact you again. So it's like when the emotions are high, they're so close to contacting you. They just want to contact you so much. And then things kind of die down a bit, and then they, maybe I shouldn't do that, I shouldn't be doing this. So I'm seeing that they are going to contact you at some time. Next time the tide's high, they'll probably be very, very tempted to contact you, and that's when they probably will contact you. I can't see whether this is something that you actually want to happen. It might be something you don't want to happen, actually, I don't know. But be prepared for this person to contact you. That's what I'm seeing. So the next card you have, your present, is the Chariot. Yes, look at this. You're very strong. You're very strong at this time. I'm seeing you being really focused. You're really determined on this studying or this learning around this work-related thing. This is what I was seeing in the World card. And yes, the other thing I'm seeing is when this person comes back to speak to you, you're going to be feeling very strong, and I'm seeing some questions. You're going to be asking them some questions, and you're going to want straight answers from them. You're not going to accept anything less than a straight answer. I'm seeing there was a lot of ambiguity around this connection that you had with them. So a lot of things weren't clear cut, a lot of things weren't said outright. It might have been how they feel, how you felt, how things ended. It might have had a kind of a messy ending where nobody was really sure where they were. That's why I'm seeing this ambiguity. I hope this all makes sense. I'm seeing that you're going to want clear answers from this person, or nothing at all. That's what I'm seeing. Look at how serious this man's face is in the Chariot card. He means business. He's very serious. So whether or not you want to get together with this person, whether or not you even want to speak to them again or see them again, is going to be up to whether they answer these questions clearly and concisely and to the point, and they give you a clear answer, because you really, really don't want to have this kind of wishy-washy ambiguity kind of thing where nobody knows where they are. Excuse me, you're not going to stand for that anymore. You're the Chariot, you're the man in the Chariot, you're steering yourself toward what you want. That's what I'm seeing. So the last card you have for your present is the Ten of Pentacles. So this person actually might have a lot of ideas about having a future with you. This is the card of building up your future, and this is a very stable card. So this is what they have in their mind. They're thinking, I'd like to build a future. I'd like to explore some kind of stable future with you. That's what's on their mind. But if you look at the couple in this card, in the center of this card, they're not communicating properly. They're walking past each other. It's like they're saying something briefly, hello, goodbye, okay, and they're walking past. So yes, a lot of questions were left unanswered. I'm seeing that again. If you connect with this person again, and I'm seeing that you will, because they're going to connect with you, you're not going to just let them walk past without a straight answer. You're going to hold their arm and say, no, you're not walking off, not literally, but I'm just looking at this couple and I'm seeing one person's going off without finishing things. You're going to hold on to them and say, no, don't walk off. I want an answer to this question. If you're not going to answer this question, I do not want a connection with you. It's going to be that serious. That's what I'm seeing. Yes, this is motorbike world again today. So yes, that's what I'm seeing with that card. The first card you have for your future is the Six of Pentacles. So again, look how unfair this is. Look at how unfair this is. This is what I'm seeing in the Three of Pentacles. Look at this man. He's giving to one person, he's not giving to the other person, and the scales are unbalanced. And there are more coins on one side of this card than on the other side. So things are very unbalanced, still going to be unbalanced around your workplace. So yes, again, people who are undeserving are getting promotions or getting favourable treatment over people who are more deserving. That's what I keep on seeing in this card. This is still going to be going on. Sadly, I'm seeing this is probably a part of the culture of this place, whatever this is. It's ingrained somewhere, unfortunately. So this is just the way things are, sadly. It shouldn't be like that, but some places are like this. I am seeing that you are going to move on from this. You are going to move on to something new, and I think you know that. So yes, obviously this is still going to really, really bother you. Of course it is. I'm seeing that it's also going to be bothering a lot of other people. You are going to eventually say something. Other people are going to stand up and say something as well. There might even be lawsuits around this or something like that, or somebody going to some other authority about this. It might even be that serious. That's what I'm seeing. I'm also seeing a lot of people in this workplace might be having the same idea as you. They might be sitting there, not saying a lot, waiting for a better opportunity, or looking very rigorously for a new opportunity to come so that they can leave. There are going to be a lot of people leaving this place, either because they're going to be either suing it might even be that serious, or they're just going to leave, or something like that. There's going to be a lot of upheaval around this workplace because of this unfairness that's going on. That's what I'm seeing. So the next card you have, your future, is the Four of Pentacles. So yes, Yes, again, I don't mean this to be a workplace reading, but I just keep on picking up on this very, very horrible workplace atmosphere. A lot of people at this workplace, or wherever this is, they're keeping quiet. Again, I'm seeing that's what's going to keep on happening for a while until things, they find other things or whatever happens. But for the moment at this time, a lot of people are still keeping quiet. They're looking for other jobs. They're not letting people know what they're doing. Again, they're holding out for the coin. They're holding out for the money. Look at this man. He's holding his coin close to him. So what they're doing is they want to stay there, obviously. They want the paycheck. They want the money, but they're looking elsewhere. Yes, that's the horn. It's time to go. Time to leave this place. That's the horn. So I always get these horns and motorbikes and everything when I'm reading. It's very quiet when I'm not reading. It's very strange. So, yes, the people are covering themselves again, I'm seeing, until it's time for them to find something new. That's what I'm seeing. The other thing I'm seeing in this card is that, you're going to have some struggles with this studying or this training outside of work. You're going to have a few roadblocks coming up in front of you at this time. It is going to feel a little bit stuck at some times. This man's stuck. He can't move. So, but you are going to get over these roadblocks eventually, and you are going to get to where you want to go. And I'm seeing these roadblocks are going to free up after a while. So keep on going. I mean, if you're being discouraged, if you're seeing these roadblocks, if they're making you feel like, I can't really do this, you can. You're going to get to the end. You have the World card. And look at how free this woman in the World card is. She's so free. And that's how you're going to feel. I'm not seeing this literally. You're not going to be a naked woman with a purple robe around you jumping in the air. But you're going to be feeling very, very free. And it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be amazing. And I think whatever is going on in this workplace, they're going to get, I shouldn't say karma, I don't usually say that, but it's going to come back to them. Because yes, again, I'm seeing there are going to be some kind of lawsuits or some kind of regulation that's going to catch up with these people. They're doing something very wrong. That's what I am seeing. The last card you have, your future, is the Emperor. So again, look at this, you're the Emperor. Don't let these roadblocks hold you back. You are the Emperor. You're disciplined, you're strong, you're capable, you're smart, you're all of these things. You're the Emperor. You know who you are. You know where you're going. Unfortunately, wherever you're working, were not appreciating you, they were not recognizing you, and this was happening to other people as well. There are quite a few emperors here that weren't being recognized for who they were. I'm also seeing that you had quite a few good ideas about something to do with this company or this workplace, and you were thinking that you're willing to help them out, give them your ideas, you're very highly intelligent, very capable. But then you thought, no, these people aren't worth my ideas. It's not worth telling them all of these ideas that I have. It's just not worth it. They don't deserve it. And you're right. You're right. They didn't deserve it. So then you just decided, I'm going to just keep my head down, do my work like everyone else was doing in the Four of Pentacles, get my pay, look out for what else is there. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to give my ideas either to myself if I'm going to work in my own business, which you might be doing, or to the next place that deserves it. And that's what you're going to do. And again, so many people are going to jump ship. That's what I'm seeing. It's going to be the Titanic, really. I am seeing that very clearly.